In today's lesson we're going to have a brief overview of the CAGED system. So the CAGED system to many people means a lot of different things. To me personally, it's a way of mapping the fretboard using chord shapes. Quite simply using a C, an A shape, a G, an E shape and a D shape. Now where this becomes tricky is, of course, these are open chord shapes, and if you want to make these all the same chord, there's an element of barring. So what we're going to try and do is use all of the shapes that I just mentioned, but make them all into C chords and play them across the fretboard. So we take our standard C shape at fret 1. Well, this one works. If we take our A shape, it doesn't work because we've got to compensate for the open A string. So I'm going to have to play this shape here. If I take my G shape, well, this gets really tricky because it's going to be quite nasty. So I'm going to just use these two elements here and bar across essentially what would have been the open strings. So that's my shape, that's my G shape. And then my E shape becomes my standard bar chord up at fret 8. And then my D shape becomes this. So if we recap, we have C using the C shape, C using the A shape, using the G shape, using the E shape, and using the D shape. This becomes interesting when we start linking scale shapes to the chords. So we can do that now. So if we take shape number 1 and link a 1 octave C major scale, we have a scale shape and a chord shape that relate to each other. If we take the A shape, we get this. If we take the G shape, if we take the E shape, now so far I've managed to keep all of these within the same octave. Unfortunately on the D shape it doesn't work. I need to take the scale up an octave. So here's the chord. And there you go, I have a scale shape that relates to each of those chord shapes. This becomes really important when you want to transpose at speed. Being able to visualize a chord shape across the guitar neck, but then becomes vitally important. Of course, you know, it's absolutely essential when playing more complex kind of forms of music like jazz or fusion. There'll be a backing track at the end of this video in the description, and at the end there's a link. So if you want to practice these scales, you can. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to transpose these shapes as well. If you liked the lesson, of course, click like, subscribe and the notification bell. See you next time.